The Atlanta Falcons are coming off a very dominant performance over the Miami Dolphins and are only starting to continue to, develop a very young but physical, intense, and a hungry team here in Atlanta. In this video, I'm kind of going to break down why I think the Falcons are just taking the right steps in order to being one of the most competitive, but one of the most improved teams throughout the entirety of the NFL offseason, and why I think their performance versus the Miami Dolphins is actually crucial to seeing just how good they truly can be in the future. Now, before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a huge favor by hitting the like button just so we can help this video get out to more Falcons fans around the world, but also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, which includes training camp, preseason, regular season, signings, trades, anything that happens. I got you guys covered, and I also will be live streaming some Falcons games throughout the season, so make sure you guys come watch those with me. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. And the footage that you're seeing on the screen right now is from their most recent training camp session. We got to see some throws from the quarterbacks. We got to see some wide receiver work, as well as a couple of other things as well. That's what you're going to see in the video. But let's real quick talk about some of the guys who have been really, really good so far, not only in training camp, but throughout the first preseason game. Now, I want to talk about the one thing as a whole, and that is the defense looked absolutely phenomenal. I mean, to hold the Dolphins to 3 points in a preseason game is actually very impressive. Now, I do know that, the backups were in the game. It wasn't Tua, it wasn't Jalen Waddle, it wasn't Tyreek Hill. I do understand that. But still, to hold a football team to 3 points, even with your backups in the game at times, is impressive. That means not only do they have, a very good starting team here, but they have a very good bench. They have depth. They have guys who can come in and make a difference right away. And they had, I believe, 5 sacks, 3 interceptions in just this game. I mean, when you look at, the game overall, they had such a good impact. I mean, first of all, when you look at the interceptions, Breon Borders, good interception. DeMarco Helms, Lucas Dennis, those are all, relatively new players to this roster, and they're making an impact already. One of them, Breon Borders, brought his back for a touchdown. I mean, this defense looks absolutely epic. And then when you look at the sacks, I mean, they had, 5 sacks, 1 to Nate Landon, 1 to Clifford Chapman. You had half a sack to Albert Hudgens, who had 4 total tackles. He had a great day. He had 2 QB hits. And then you have, Arnold Abedike. He had 1 sack. Natrone Brooks had a sack. So, I mean, they had just so many guys coming in here, stepping in, and just making a difference for this defense. And not only are those backups good, but when you look at the starting lineup, I think this might be one of the most improved in all the football. I mean, you got Calais Campbell and David Onyemata coming over from New Orleans, and Grady Jarrett and Bud Dupree coming over from Tennessee. I know he's getting up there in age and hasn't been, so productive, but he's still a productive player at the end of the day. And then you bring in Caden Ellis from New Orleans. You got Troy Anderson. AJ, I mean, the secondary looks amazing overall. So, and then Clark Phillips, DeMarco Helms, who had a good game, Natrone Brooks. I mean, they have rookies breaking out. They have Zach Harrison, looks amazing in training camp. I mean, he looks like one of the stars of training camp. And this defense is just fitting perfectly under new management with Ryan Niesel, I think his name is, for the new defensive coordinator job. Let me know if I said that wrong. But he was in New Orleans, now he's over here in Atlanta, and he brought a lot of former Saints back over here. This is very intense, man. I'm feeling like the Falcons are going to surprise a lot of people with this team. I feel like they do have some work to do on the offensive side of the ball, but we've already seen how good Bijan Robinson is. Kyle Pitts is, a dog. We just really need to see the development out of Desmond Ridder. I feel like Ridder's a guy who, if he can take a step up over the next couple of years, this team could go as far as he takes them, because, he's a good quarterback. He just has room to grow. He needs to be more patient in the pocket. He needs to be, more aware of his surroundings, but also a little bit more accurate. And if he can do those things, man, the sky is the limit for this team. But overall, when they played the Miami Dolphins, all of that really showed. 19-3, they won the game. We saw a lot of Logan Woodside. He's been okay. I don't think Logan Woodside has been anything crazy throughout training camp so far, but we had a decent little game here. You had Godwin Ibuike. He had a touchdown, averaging 5.4 yards per carry, so that was a good sign. And I know I'm sitting here talking about how good they were, and it's just preseason, but at the end of the day, this Falcons team is much improved. They're bringing 10 new starters going into this season. It might not be that many, but let me go see. So you're bringing Matt Collins, Scotty Miller, that's 2. Bijan Robinson. You got Calais Campbell, David Onyemata, Bud Dupree, Caden Ellis, AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, Jeff Okudah. So, that's 8 or 9 brand new stars for this season. This team is going to be one of the most improved, and I would be surprised if they actually don't improve at all. If they don't improve at all from last year, I will be completely shocked. I think this team could even make the playoffs. They're just... Maybe I'm going a little bit too far here, but this team is good. I feel like they have so much talent everywhere you look on this roster. With everyone they brought in, I think Coach Arthur Smith is a guy who likes intensity. He likes to hold guys accountable for the most part. I think this team is fun. I think they're hungry, young. I think they're going to make it far next year in terms of just progression. But let me know what you guys think. You like this Falcons team? Do you think they have a lot of work to do? Do you think they still need to go out and add some more pieces? What do you think about this Falcons team, guys? Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we post a video, every time we go live for a game. Make sure you guys are in here. And also, make sure you guys check out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys play fantasy football, check out this next segment. I promise you, it is going to be worth your time. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.